So I mean, I know y'all been paying attention to it. You seen I think Suzette, not I think Suzette Speaks went live earlier today about Andrew Tate getting banned or whatever, and it seemed like it's a movement to kind of make the red pill seem like hostile guys, right? But they'll always distinguish between us and the white guys. But I think even within conversations in the so-called Black manosphere, there's a serious misunderstanding about particularly women. Like, well, I always say, y'all know, I always say females, right? There's some dudes that do not understand how females operate, and there's dudes that do understand how females operate. And those guys that are in the red pill rage because they can't have sex or they can't get in a relationship is dramatically different from those of us. And I'm not claiming it for y'all to, but it's dramatically different from those of us that have came to this space because of family court.
Boom, the world class.
We good? We good? Yeah, I can see it. All right, let's make it sure. Nah, niggas be halfway into it. Got my guy Tommy B. I'm dropping a link pretty soon, bro. Probably just gonna run through this, drop the link because I, kind of want to get my spill on it. But I do want to hit all three of these topics. Something I've been thinking about. But I think it's best for to bring people in so we can have a conversation. I should have tagged Affy. I should have tagged him in it because I know he a passport bro. I wanted it, that's probably like the main course. Might say that for last. Hopefully Westside and Big Mike pull in for the FBA conversation. And Couch Gang, where we stand on the Red Pill Rage as it relates to the dating and as it relates to the family court. I think it's separate, and I think it needs to be distinguished, and we need to kind of be more clear going forward because everybody's looped in. And that's not a problem, but we should be able to, we should distinguish what's going on. And that's on our end. Got the lovely Shamiria Shoo. I'm saying Shoo all the way, every day, nonstop. She's dope. Definitely, please, Jenny or any one of my mods, put her channel in the chat. Subscribe, everybody. Subscribe. She's a dope sister, bro. She is exactly her. Savannah, Jenny, Gail. We ask, like, we complain, like we sit and we complain about the women that we actually have, and we support them, man. It's free. Subscribe to the channel, like all our videos, help her get monetized. She's a dope sister, bro. Sister of Mandrell, who's a part of the tribe. Yeah, bro, she's fire, bro. What's crazy? It's like you had niggas that cake for a chick, right? But when you have a woman that, even if she has feminist views, if she can have a conversation and she can admit that she's wrong and she can, you know what I'm saying? Like her and Lucky and again Savannah and Gail, like all the same people I mentioned, Jenny. They may, they always gonna be on women's side because they're women, but at the end of the day, you can have a genuine conversation. That's what's dope. You know what I'm saying? I was who was I talking to earlier? I said, look, I forgot who I was talking to. I said, when we be doing premieres and shit, when we do premieres and lives, everybody use the chat like the hallway, but like when class let out and you in the hallway, everybody be using the chat in the premieres and like, hey, what's going on with you? Where you going? What you doing tonight? Which is cool. That's what the community is about. So I love when y'all go, y'all be doing premieres, y'all go live, you can holler at people. It's fun. This is dope, man. We created definitely hit your own like button because we definitely created a different space. This is much more lit than Facebook. So shout out to everybody on Facebook. Red Pill Rage, dating versus Red Pill Rage from Family Court. And I definitely gonna get Couch Game. I'm gonna get y'all in here real quick, man. I don't plan on leaving. Y'all can just come in as I'm saying it. We can do all of that. So I wouldn't claim myself to be Red Pill. I come from a whole different community, but it's just a clear distinction between the dudes that's coming in for the dating shit, and those of us that have been affected by family court. Mainly through child alienation. You gotta turn this shit off. The champ is here! The champ is here! We got Face Facts in the building, Couch Gang member. What's up with you, brother?
Yes, sir. Now I seen the live stream pop up, so I had to jump in here and show some support.
Thanks. Got dirty folks in the building. What's going on, bro?
What's poppin', pimpin'? How you feeling, baby?
Everything we great, man. I can't complain. Definitely want to y'all. If the Tyler defeater. Definitely gotta get y'all on here in this first topic because that's what we do. That's what we talk about. It's what most of us met on these YouTube streets. Um, and I'll explain why I think it's live worthy to have this distinction, right? I mean, I know y'all been paying attention to it. You seen I think Suzette speaks one live earlier today about Andrew Tate getting banned or whatever. And it seemed like it's a movement to kind of make the red pill seem like hostile guys, right? But they'll always distinguish between us and the white guys. But I think even within conversations in the so-called Black Manosphere, there's a serious misunderstanding about particularly women. Like, well, I always say, y'all know, I always say females, right? There's some dudes that do not understand how females operate, and there's dudes that do understand how females operate. And those guys that are in the red pill rage because they can't have sex or they can't get in a relationship is dramatically different from those of us. And I'm not claiming it for y'all to, but it's dramatically different from those of us that have came to this space because of family court, child support, child alienation, or just aware of it. You know what I mean? Kind of pick a side or calling out bullshit. So before I go in, I already said the not preface, but the settings for it. Which I'll take. Face, you came up first. What's your spill on it?
Yeah, there's absolutely a drastic difference, and the primary difference is the family court is whether they admit to it or not. It's a government operated and controlled agency. Now, they don't operate under the guidelines that they claim they operate under, which is what causes the conflict. Because
Facts.
they're acting as a court, but they're not. They basically don't follow their own rules.
Right. Right. That's peace.
Yes, that's exactly what I mean.
What would you say to the other side if you know from what you see?
Well, I got to be honest. Like, I didn't even know that was a thing before I came to this space. And when I realized that it was actually a thing, then I started noticing the differences. Like, but what they like to do is they like to, cross contaminate and conflate one with the other. But it's kind of disingenuous when you blatantly ignore the differences. They're both problems, but there's no, how could I say it? There's no government intervention from the dating aspect. So when you have government enforcement, that creates a whole nother atmosphere that most people don't even have the capacity to process.
That's a good point. That's a good point. Dirty, what's your take, bro? I know you talk about this a lot, actually.
You know what, man? I think my thing. Turn my mic up. I think my thing is that men stay reactive instead of proactive. I think I've been more annoyed with men over the last 4 years than I have with family court or anything else. But I'll tell you what, though. Family court is arbitration court, and I've been playing with arbiters for 20 years since we was doing ghost payrolls allegedly before the Patriot Act. I've been playing with arbiters. So if we're just talking about arbitration is something that's proactive so that these situations won't happen.
That's true.
So when I see these things and I tell guys, tribe up, and we have a system, because you're talking about a system, and you have to fight a system with a system, right? You hear fire with fire, all that. Don't bring a knife to a gunfight. You hear all these things, but then nobody wants to organize a system for a system. They just want to do protest parades. So I like the way that Mr. Palmer brought attention to it,
Yeah.
because that's kind of how I went off the deep end. Like how I went zero dark 30, started fighting Steve Harvey, all type of shit. Because I went through a situation that nothing happened. Like I knocked up a chick killed the baby, nothing happened. She just run around, yeah, postpartum depression. You know what I'm saying? After I chased this bitch for 2 years to 5 different states. You know what I'm saying? And I was like, yo, this is some bullshit. But it's nothing you can do about it because the deed is done.
Yeah.
And then you, it's like a red car. Once you see it one time, you see it everywhere.
Right. Forgot what I
So,
said. Smear or something in neurology. Something in neurology. Go ahead.
so so once I saw that, I said, man, how can you proactively prevent bullshit? So these are the reason I came to these spaces because I didn't realize how many guys, like you said, the real pill rage. Most of these guys have real pill rage, even the guys in their 40s, because they're
Yeah.
just out of a divorce. They've only been with 3 girls. They've been with their wife since college, and they don't understand the waves of the wild. And you're like, yo, bro, you don't know shit. You've been here 4 decades for 2 scores and 3 years, and you don't know shit. So, the biggest frustration is as a guy is what's the phrase, bro? People don't know history are doomed to repeat it.
Yeah.
People who do know history are doomed to watch the people who don't know history repeat it.
Something like that.
So you can't stop it. So that's what I think about the red pill space. And I'm not red pill. I'm just an ass. Like, like he's red pill, he black pill. I'm like, no, I'm not, dude. I'm just not going.
So apparently this space has existed for a while because I even remember back when I used to watch TV, like back in 2007. Even before then, there used to be shows on TV about pickup artists. I didn't know that was a part of this space. And I'm not being dismissive to that fact. It's again, I bring it up because I'm just realizing at 36 that for the last year that a lot of these dudes is not having sex. Like a lot of these dudes are not getting women. Like you would laugh at a dude like, I'm getting more chicks than you and you can't get no bit. Like we would joke, but it's really dudes out here 30 can't get women and can't get a chick to. And I'm just like, wow. So if we're gonna say we're gonna be in a space to help men, then we got to do that. I'm looking to dial back some of my, let's say, misunderstanding and be more, again, understanding that my main focus is solely been. We got Tommy B in the building. What's going on, bro?
What's going on, folks?
What's up? What's up? Definitely want to get you in on this because I heard you say a couple of things about these 3 topics. One of these 3 topics. But I was saying, like I've never in my life had a problem getting women. You know what I'm saying? I've had instances where I didn't get the girl I wanted. I can understand that. So I can't empathize but so much. So I'm at to be in a space if I'm gonna help men of all walks, seemingly, at least brothers. That's mainly my focus. I'm gonna have to be willing to understand the other side. And first, because we got to do housekeeping first before I don't have no link or nothing. I don't have nothing to show, but just a topic that I want to bring up because I brought up Andrew for the fact that, for the reason that it looked like they moving to kind of turn niggas into some type of terrorist watching group or whatever. But they are having a serious problem over there finding women, and as you know, the stock is low. The stock is trash right now. Like these chicks is tripping, and they like life is closing in on them. They think they're more valuable because they can't murder their babies, and fake go after a career. So I'm willing to listen to the other side. So, but what's happening is when we getting in these contentious conversations, and some of these female content creators is looping everybody up, and when they loop people up, I don't have a problem with being grouped and looped. But when they loop everybody up, certain things trigger some, and certain things don't trigger the other. Like you shooting shots at people that they don't deserve that. A nigga that's dealing with red pill rage because of dating shouldn't be told he's not a good dad because he's not even fucking. You know what I'm saying? A dude that got 3 baby mamas shouldn't be talked about. You can't get no bitches, and this is why you mad. Like, it's dumb. It's getting crazy, and it seems like nobody understands that it's a clear distinction between the two. I don't know if there's more distinctions than this, but this is what I've noticed. What you got, Tom? You ain't on anything on the topic. Matter of fact,
So I told you, like, when I initially started following you, I had seen a broadcast that you had put up there, and it was you, it was Big Mike. I think Dirty Folks was on that panel. I think Bernard S. And I think Westside might have been. But I told you the thing that made me even gravitate towards your channel like that was because it was like the first time, and I don't even know if I would even consider you in this space, but it's the first time in this space where I heard dudes talking. I'm like, I get it. Like, I got around here in like December, and anybody that was around back then would tell you since December shit till current, I just keep saying this shit is weird. What are y'all talking about?
Yeah.
From the everybody here acting like they make six figures and shit to the just some of the comments that they make to where you can tell like y'all don't deal with women. It's just that simple. Like, just I tell people, the more y'all talk, the more you expose yourself. You can try to make yourself look like whatever you want to. The problem is we're here to talk. And you can only fake the funk for so long. The more you talk, the more you're going to expose yourself. And like I heard a cat yesterday, I think it was yesterday, the day before, a little podcast episode, and they was talking about the rejection. I ain't throwing no names out there, but I heard somebody say, well, I ain't never been rejected. I just ain't. And I'm just like, because like I tell people since I've been here, like I was for the streets. Anybody that I know that was a player, you got some rejection. Like, you never went 10 for 10, bro. You know, you 6 or 7 for 10. You know, as much as these niggas talk about me with my height and this and that and the other, I'd have been rejected. So this particular person, bro, you 5'7" and you telling me you ain't never been rejected? Nigga, please.
Talk your shit.
Nigga, please. Like, so, but that's what I'm saying. Like, the more motherfuckers talk, it's like, you just gonna expose yourself. The real gonna see the real. But
It's hilarious.
one of the things that I've also nicknamed this spot is like it's revenge of the nerds, bro. It's a bunch of niggas that was in high school getting dissed by God. And I'm gonna give you the perfect example of what I mean. The individual that you had the back and forth with yesterday, he did the exact same thing with me. And I think what infuriates me the most with that type of shit, you wouldn't do that shit in my face, bro. We both know that. But because we behind this screen, it's rah, 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 rah. And it's like, all right, dog, you got it.
That's a Tommy B quotable, Revenge of the Nerds. Go ahead.
Bro, it's just, and then, I mean, just to the way that they talk about the women, the way that they, it feels like these niggas trying to kill them out of their drawers. It's the weirdest shit in the world. It's, oh, you know, you should have sex with me by this date. And it's like, who are you niggas?
That's funny.
I've never even asked for the shit. Like, what the fuck? You giving mandates? Like, it's just the shit that I hear be so weird, dog. It's like they so disconnected. You can't do nothing but laugh sometimes. But I think what's crazy is because naturally I wouldn't hang around a lot of this shit, so I never even knew this world existed. Like, when they explained to me that most men aren't having sex regularly, that fucked me up.
Yo, this has been really like a revelation for me.
Yeah, I'm like, wait, y'all serious? And they're looking at me like I'm crazy. And I'm like, damn, like, it's rough, I guess. Like, it's just that shit threw me. So
they would be fools to resist my divine power. His death was a necessary loss. Soon I will have new apprentice, one far younger and more powerful. Remember, when a king is loved as I am, much can be accomplished.